Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The final ball game of our all-day event here at Lincoln Christian. And Richard, I said I didn't know if the day could get any better, but I think it actually did because we have a full moon. And now we'll pause for prayer and the national anthem.
Heavenly Father, thank you for these two great teams. We ask that you everyone safe play here. Thank you for a beautiful day and this wonderful game. In Jesus' name, everyone said.
Are we live? Good for us.
Perfect. Thanks.
The final day of the game, or the final game of the day, that is. And, well, I think they kicked it off before the officials were ready, so we'll tee it back up and kick it off again. We got the Jenks Trojans taking on the Muskogee Ruffers.
Looks like we had a flag. 12 men against the Ruffers. Will mark off 5, so they'll kick off from the 45-yard line now. And they'll have to back up the kickoff team front line for Muskogee back to the 45-yard line.
Cooper Frazier will kick it away for the Trojans.
Or Nicholas Anderson. Depends on which way they go. Because I think it's going to wherever number 20, Caden Jones, which if you've never heard that name before, his dad's Keywan Jones, played at Jenks back in late 90s and early 2000s and played at OU. And his son is number 20, and I'm sure they're going to try to kick it away from him. So I expect number 81, Nicholas Anderson, to kick it, and I was wrong again. Onside kick, though, recovered by the Trojans, number 13, Blake Bilby. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Ruffer 42-yard line.
Ball game couldn't have started any better for the Jenks group as they came with kind of a little quasi-onside kick, trying to get it just over the front line, which they did. And number 13, as Richard talked about, Mr. Bilby, heads up play. He'll jump on the loose football, and the Trojans bring their offense out 1st and 10. Ball rested at the 41.
Now look for heavy dose of number 5. That would be Boston Carrasco. And number 20, Jace Hager. Or Hager. There it is. Nice run, pick up of 9 yards. Maybe they give it to him at the 33, pickup of 8 yards, bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Trojans.
Michael Puckett stepped into the hole to make the tackle, but not before big number 5, Boston, pushed the pile for another 2 or 3 yards. And as Richard talked about, we can watch it on replay, comes up with a 2nd down and short. Jackson Franklin will run the offense for
Fumble
the Trojans.
On the play. Recover, looks like by the Roughers. 1st and 10 for the Roughers. That's what they needed after not getting the onside kick or getting a kickoff, and it's strips the ball, and next thing you know, 1st and 10 for the Roughers at their own 33-yard line. They needed that.
Absolutely, and throughout most of the ball games earlier today, most of the teams have stayed away from the turnovers, and we saw one here early from the Jenks offense, and that can't be the way the coaching staff drew it up, and we'll see who picked up the loose ball for the Roughers. A little break in the action, thanks to Dick's Sporting Goods and Department Built for helping to make the INFC Championship Saturday a reality. The Roughers will work out of the gun. They'll put a single back in the backfield. They'll hand him the ball off tackle, and the white shirts will show up in a hurry.
Brought down by number 3, Jackson Franklin.
Jesse Jones was also in on the the tackle, that is, for
I think we had a fumble and recovered by number 9, Connor Moore, but there was another fumble, back-to-back fumbles. This time, though, the offensive team was able to recover it.
Adam Graff will anchor the defensive line, that is, for the Jenks Trojans. You're exactly right, Richard. They showed it again, and there was a fumble on the play.
Pass complete to Jones on the quick post pattern. Picks up enough for a 1st down. That'll bring 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Nice throw from Jamari Ficklin. Complete to number 20, Caden Jones. 1st down and 10 for the Roughers. It's nice to get up there and get that first down after almost fumbling it away on the first snap. Bring the line, single receiver to the left, single receiver to the right, tight end right. Shotgun formation for Ficklin. Running back will be number 3, Carion Brown. Fake handoff, this time to quarterback Keep. Runs it on the zone read and keeps the ball, and stopped in there by number 20. That's Jace Hager for the Trojans. Pick up of a couple, bring up 2nd down and 8. That's what they're wanting to do. Trying to control the clock. If they have to, they can get their athletes in space, and you better find out where number 20's lined up at, because as you can tell already on their first down, they're going to go try to find him. 2nd down and 8. Ball placed at the 47-yard line, 47-yard line of the Roughers, and already we're under 5 minutes left in the first quarter of action.
Ficklin comes in with the play. He'll run the offense for the Roughers, and as Richard talked about, they've got to find out on each and every play where Mr. Jones is. 2nd down, 2nd and about 8 for the Green offense. First pass of the afternoon. Boston Carrasco, the quarterback, as he plays his defensive back, comes up to make a nice play on it. But watch the penetration from one of the defensive linemen as we show it again. He's going to get all the way into the backfield, takes the running back and says, not this time. So after the incomplete pass, the Rougher offense looks at 3rd down. We've got no score. We're in the first quarter. Actually, we're just underway in the final ball game of what's been an outstanding afternoon weather-wise, outstanding afternoon as far as sports is concerned, and thanks to the guys from GameDayFilms.live for all their hard work. Alex Mathis, actually no, that's Mr. Brown for the Roughers on the carry, and he'll get close to a 1st down. In fact, he's going to come up just about 1.5 yards shy, and no doubt about it, the Roughers will go.
No hesitation. 4th down and about 1. They'll have to get to the 45-yard line of the Trojans.
One of the Roughers captains, Johnson, he'll come off the field. He's actually one of them that shuttles the plays in for the Roughers. It's just amazing how much bigger these athletes are as they get each and every grade.
Twins left, twins right, single gun. Draws them
Hard
off sides.
count.
Hard count gets him off sides.
Free first down for the Rougher offense. The Roughers will try to run in behind big Carlos Rhodes. And with the ball resting at about the 41-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Both teams have had it. Both showed a little bit of nerves because we've had two different turnovers so far by both offenses, or two turnovers, that is total, one by each team.
Trips right. Single receiver to the left. That's Jones out there by himself. Nice job by number 34. That'll be Big Jack Wiltshire, who played at Jenks. His dad did. Flag on the play.
Late flag comes in. It's in the secondary of the Jenks Trojans, so we might have well, the Roughers are clapping. They say it's against the Trojans.
Face mask, maybe?
So I'm guessing that one of the defensive backs, possibly one of the down linemen for the Trojans, got a hold of one of the because it didn't look like it happened on the ball carrier.
Bring up still first down.
1st and 5.
Well, it was happened behind. It was a loss on the play. It'll be 1st down and 7. Twins right. Twins left. Shotgun formation.
Michael Puckett split far out to this side. I'll put a single back in the backfield. Bubble screen goes to number 6.
Nice pass, getting it out there quick. That's spitting it out there quick. If you notice, Ficklin, he gets it out there fast and lets his athletes get in, in space. Big hit by number 2.
We don't have a number 2 on our roster, so we can't give him credit for it.
I'm going to say it's Jackson Franklin or Alex Mathias because they have 2 number 3s.
Conrad.
So I'm going to say, let's go with Franklin.
Picklin runs the offense again. They'll come with a little inside trap play, and he's into the secondary. That's big number 89.
On the carry, number 29 for the Roughers, that'd be Arias Parrish. But he's still short of first down. So great job by the defense, 1st and 7. And now it's still 3rd down and 1. But you like Muskogee, still short, 3rd down and manageable.
Carlos Rhodes with a nice block up in front. He's the one that kind of cleared the way that made it set it up at his 3rd down and probably less than a yard. Quarterback fakes the handoff, and he'll come with a read option.
For a 1st down. Great job on the quarterback read, and he gets close to the 30-yard line. It'll be enough for a 1st down for the Roughers. 1st and 10. And we're down to 1 minute, Don. They kicked off. Each team's had it once, right?
Didn't really fool anybody on the play, but again, they really didn't need to because all they were looking to do is pick up a little over a yard, and they did that, so now they'll keep the chains moving. Ball rests at the 30-yard line. Nice read, as Richard pointed out, by Ficklin. Caden Jones will split to the far side now. They'll bring him back, or one of the receivers, that is, in motion through the formation. They'll actually hand it to him. Webb on the carry. And one of the Roughers is actually shaking up on the play. We'll be back with more from Lincoln Christian right after this from one of our sponsors.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball, Vikings basketball,
Woodlawn soccer,
the Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
We're back at Lincoln Christian. We're checking on the injured player. We saw the replay, and actually what happened to him is the ball carrier. Watch this. The ball carrier is going to actually roll up the back side of the big boy's legs. And that's where the injury came in, and that's one of them that everyone in the booth watching the replay gave the customary, ooh, because that's one that hopefully.
I don't know. That was a high ankle sprain. That'll be tough to come back from. We wish him nothing but the best, and that's number 99, O'Shea Stevenson.
Second down and about, well, they're calling it 7 on the board, so that's what we'll go with. Second down and 7. Thanks to Permabuilt, Ron's Hamburger and Chili, located at 91st and Elm in Broken Arrow, simply BA's best burger. And always Dick's Sporting Goods and Miss Carrie Sumter, as she was out here for the duration of most of the day, handing out things to all of the kids. And as we talked about earlier, every kid that participated today got a goodie bag from Dick's Sporting Goods, and just another way Dick gives back to the youth of Oklahoma. Pass interference will probably be the call. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it was one of the number 2s, or actually one of the number 3s, because we don't have a 2 on the defense. That's interference on the defense, and that results in the first down. And the Ruppers just continue to work the ball down the field.
So we figured out Jackson Franklin is number 2, and Alex Mathias is number 3. At least, do we have anything going on down there? Besides messing with the OU redhead up in the stands. Do we have anything else, Elise? Yeah, because I'm redheaded and I'm talking to her. Oh, sorry. And we're still live.
Well, we apologize for all that editorial that leaked out on the air. Apparently, we were still live, and I guess that's one of the biggest reasons why Richard and I very seldom do anything that's live. We usually like to work.
Tape delay.
Yes.
And a lot of bleeping. But anyway, we're started the second quarter all tied up at 0, but Muskogee's got a drive going. And like I said, that first quarter zipped by pretty fast, Don. And once again, when you're not putting the ball in the air, it seems to happen that way.
Which kind of surprised me a little bit as I think back to other 7th grade finals that we've done over the last, I'm not sure how many years we've been together up here. I know it's at least 5. Is it seems like every time we get to the 7th grade game, it just takes forever because like every other play is a pass play. But both of these teams, at least the Muskogee group, they've aired it out twice. One netted them a pass interference penalty, so that gave them a free 10 yards and a first down. And they've got the ball now inside the Trojan 15-yard line. Some big boys up front for Muskogee, matched by the Trojan defensive front. And we'll put a man in motion through the formation. That's number 2. And we'll hand it and see if we can get to the edge, but he will not get there. What a play by number 16 for the Jenks Trojans.
That'd be Sean Little.
Sean Little couldn't have played it any better, and he had enough speed to keep the Muskogee Ruffer from getting to the outside. Let's watch it one more time as Little plays it perfect, fights the block off, now says, hey, I got to go get the ball carrier, and he does. That moves the ball all the way back out to, it's about 2nd and 18. Ball rests at the 22-yard line.
Big play for the Jenks defense right there, getting them behind the chains. And now we're closing in on under almost 7 minutes remaining until halftime.
And we've talked about it in every game. It's important in every level of football. You cannot get behind the chains.
On a constant times. You know, if back here all the time, you're going to have a lot of trouble succeeding. Nice pass rush up the middle.
Ball goes over the middle. lays out for it, cannot get there, but we have flags everywhere.
It looks like we probably have holding inside is what we have. And we'll have it'll be third down and long, or you back them up and take it. I decline it here. Let the play happen, so it's incomplete. So it'll bring up third down and long. But the thing is, the receiver was coming open if he could have had just a little more time. But maybe that's why he had a little more time, is because there was some holding. And because Camden Webb, I do believe, number 2 was the one coming across, and he almost got there.
Well, we definitely know now that Bicklin, he has the ability to air it out a little bit, so that should loosen up the running game a little bit, as we saw in one of the earlier games. That'll make the linebackers at least take a step or two back. He'll put one man in the backfield with him, and we'll look for Jones on this play. Bicklin lets it go into the end zone. Did he get there? Indeed he did. And who did it go to?
I'm going to guess Caden Jones, number 20.
I said look for him before that play, and Bicklin said, hey, the guy in the booth knows what he's talking about. I'm going to Jones for 6. Held
Nice
it through
throw.
the catch. Absolutely.
And they'll try to kick the extra point. Jones will be the holder, and Bicklin will be the kicker. And we tell you all the time.
And the kick's blocked, so that'll leave it at 6-0, and we'll go field side down to Elise.
Thanks, guys. Joining me now is head cheer coach Courtney of the Muskogee team. Courtney, your team, they're doing awesome. The boys and your girls. Talk to me about the girls you've got right now.
Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. They are like one of a kind. It's one of the best groups we've had. They are God-driven. They are behind their team and their community. They are willing to give whatever, 100% all the time.
Now, you said you've been with these boys all year long, like this whole season. What's it like being able to watch them grow and then be here at the championships?
Oh my gosh, it is like breathtaking. It's just great. Like, it's what we used to do back in the day whenever I was in school, so it's great.
So this is pretty sentimental to you and special to watch your team go on.
Definitely, most definitely.
Are we looking at a win?
Oh, I'm hoping so. I'm praying on it. Most definitely.
She says she's praying on it. All right, back to you guys.
Well, no predictions from the cheer coach for the Muskogee Ruppers, but she's definitely praying for a win, and right now she finds her team up 6-0 and a kickoff. It looks like it might sail out of bounds, and it does. So that'll set the Trojans up some pretty good field position, and we'll have to see if they can answer, because we're 6:55 left in quarter number 2 with the Ruppers on top 6-0.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer.
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
Well, going into the ballgame, you told me to watch out for the tailbacks for the Jenks Trojans. They haven't had a chance really to show them off yet, because they haven't really ran an offensive set that highlighted the tailbacks. Now, the quarterback's done a little bit of running on his own.
Well, they had a fumble at the third play, and you can say that after that, Muskogee took the ball and had the ball about 7 minutes, as they took and went into the second quarter after finishing off the third quarter with a 6-minute mark. So 6:55 remaining. Let's see if Jenks can get back on track here. Quarterback number 2, Jackson Franklin, and back at tailback, Alex Matthias. Toss sweep. Now we're going to see the speed get to the edge. Great job cutting it off, and great job out to the picking up 5, but good job by Muskogee on the flow as they turned him back inside so the safeties can get downhill. And what a great job by that athlete, Kendall Johnson from Muskogee, from that defensive line position as he runs it out. We're going to have a recap of today. First, we started off with Glenpool 18-0 over Collinsville as they finished an undefeated season. And then we finished off with another undefeated season for Bartlesville over Stillwater 14-6. And Broken Arrow bringing home the first time in a long time the gold ball in anything 3rd through 7th grade in INFC 8-6. Followed by Bigsby's 3rd in a row, 4 out of the last 5 over TYA, and they win at 27-6. Nice run off the left side
That's Carrasco, and we'll watch it again on the replay as we do a little misdirection as the quarterback fakes the toss sweep and then hands it to Carrasco. He'll follow his blockers. Number 34 had a nice block out in front. That's Jake Wiltshire.
And Wiltshire, like I told you before, his dad played at Jenks, played defense for Darren Melton, who's the athletic director here at Lincoln Christian. He told me to keep an eye on him. And, of course, he also played for Kewan Jones, or Coach Kewan Jones when he was at Jenks. Nice play in the backfield by number 8. That's Timothy Moore for the Ruffers as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mathis does, but great job, get penetration by number 8. It's kind of hard not to mess him with his neon sleeves and neon leggings. Easy to pick out because I think he knew he was going to be on TV.
Well, he took on the block, shed it quickly, and made the tackle right there at the line of scrimmage. The Jenks linemen point out who they're going to block, and they'll put 2 in the backfield. They'll go with the fullback this time. Little misdirection, and neon green comes through again.
Timothy Moore, also known as the Incredible Hulk, comes back here and blows it up again as it looks like it was missed handoff. Not quite sure what the play was, and he gets blown up in the backfield. And it's 3rd down and long as we've had 2 consecutive plays for the Trojans end up in negative yards.
Darius Parrish was right there for the Ruppers as well. If Neon didn't get the tackle, Parrish was right there. And as Richard talked about, we're back behind the chains for the Jenks offense. They'll probably have to air it out here on 3rd down.
Look for him to go to number 3 and they're coming from the backside fast. Can he get to the edge? Or he's going to try to run it, and there's nothing there. Great job by the defense, number 8 and number 23, number 23, Dadrian Hollis, and looks like he's going to take off because he got hit in the head, and the referees are making sure he has to come off the field.
Well, Corey and Brown came all the way across the field for the defense to put pressure on. As Richard talked about, the quarterback took a lick to the head, and we're going to have to he'll have to go off for at least one play and get some medical attention from the coaching staff over there. Back down to the field for release.
You know what? I found my mom of the night. This is Christy right here. She has boys and one on the oh, Christy, I asked you earlier. I said, you're really getting into it. What makes you love football so much? And what'd you say?
These kids. I love it. My son been playing since he was in kindergarten.
Kindergarten, really, with these boys?
Grade. Yep.
Really? So what's this family mean to you, the football family?
Everything. I love it.
Do you consider yourself a leader in the section? See you down here. You're really getting into it.
Yeah! All of that. You see, all these people love me. Look at them. Y'all love me, right? Y'all. Yeah. Yeah. It's me. Yeah. They love me. Yeah. They love me.
That they do, and they love this team. Thank you so much, Christy. Guys.
Well, apparently there's a whole lot of love in the crowd for the Muskogee Ruppers tonight, and we found their number 1 fan, and Elise put it on the live stream. 4th down for the Trojans. For the snap. Legal procedure on the offense is going to back him up another 5 yards, and
going the wrong direction, Don. I bet they've struggled offensively, which is really kind of surprising for me after watching them a couple times this year, because they usually normally click. And like I said, they're probably averaging winning by 25 points a game, and this really surprises me right now how the Trojans have been playing this first quarter and a half.
Well, we've talked so much about how important each possession is, and this time for the Trojans, they were able to pick up a couple first downs, but now all of a sudden the drive is absolutely stalled, and they're looking at 4th down, and we've called it this way before. It's 4th down and not a bunch. It's 4th down and halfway to my house. And now the Trojans will take a timeout. All right, we're going to take a couple looks at some of the plays that have actually resulted in the fact of how bad the field position is right now for the Trojans. On the first down play, no gain on the running play.
Almost missed the handoff. And then on this one, running back and quarterback going 2 different directions didn't help. Penalty thrown in there on a false start. Quarterback looking to pass the ball as he rolls out to the right. He gets injured on this play. As the defense comes up and lays the lick on him, and his head unfortunately bounces off the turf, and so now we're back at 4th down, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do. And I'm really kind of surprised they're not punting the ball, trying to switch the field position or flip it.
Well, and I'm a run the ball, play defense kind of guy, so you know that I'm going to punt the ball right here. And actually, they tried to slip the quarterback, Franklin, back into the ball game, and the officials are saying, we need to look at him a little bit more. I know what might happen too, though. He has to sit out a play because he went to the sidelines and there wasn't had a penalty. So we haven't completed a play yet. So he's going to have to stay on the sidelines until the defense comes back out if he plays defense. Which brings Cooper Frazier on number 1. He'll come in with the assigned play, and he'll get up under center. So unless they're going to do one of those little toss backs and he kicks it from the short formation, hard count, draws the Ruffers offsides. That'll cost them 5.
Need to do that 4 more times.
Well, for some of the people watching the live stream at home, some of the older guys may think, well, hey, wait a minute, he got back. Well, that rule went away a couple years ago. If you get in the neutral zone, even as a defensive player, you draw the flag.
And it'll be a turnover on downs. Nice job of the defense, but nice play call, getting the ball on a quick screen in the middle of the field to Blake Bilby. But when it's 4th down and 20, tough to pick up 20 yards on a quick screen with all that speed of the Ruffers. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for the Ruffers, as I do believe this will be their second possession. And there's 4:15 left until halftime. We'll have both cheerleading groups, it looks like, here today or this evening for the 7th grade game. So 4:15, and we'll take it down. We'll give it to the PA guy at the end of this half and see the cheerleaders performing. Be 1st down and 10. Single receiver to the left is Jones. Single receiver to the right. Back in the backfield should be number 3, Carion Brown. Quarterback is still Jamarian Ficklin. This time a handoff to inside to 29 on the end around. Picks up about 7 yards. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 3. Kewan Jones is trying to slow them down because they want to run as much of this clock they can and limit the possessions of the Trojans. So now we are under 4 minutes remaining.
Parrish with a nice run. That time the Ruffers were able to block Sean Little, the defensive end. They knocked him outside and then cut up underneath him. Little did spin around and got part of the tackle, but not before the Ruffer running back picked up 8 yards on the play.
Quick hitter, but stopped after about a 2-yard gain. Bring up 3rd down and 1, but short yardage again. 3rd down and 1. Great job by the Ruffers getting up there close. And their line to gain has been shortened by that great 1st and 2nd down play, not getting behind the chains.
Timothy Moore says, whoops, I better get in the huddle. So he joins his mates in the huddle. The quarterback will come over to the sidelines and gets a quick play from the coaching staff. We'd like to thank Mr. Ficklin, the head coach for the Muskogee Ruffers, as well as Richard Holland, the head coach for the Jenks Trojans, and all of the time you put in to INFC football over the years. Quarterback on the keeper, and he's going to move the chains. 1st and 10 Ruffers. Didn't get a whole lot, but didn't need a whole lot.
Brought down again by number 16, Sean Little, as he's done a great job of that outside linebacker position for the Trojans. And now we're closing in on 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And as they move the ball 1st and 10 at the Trojan 44-yard line.
Another excellent play on the defensive side by number 16, Sean Little. Without his tackle right there, as we watched it on replay, he kind of had a crease, but Little, again from his defensive end spot, he'll make the tackle. You can see that the Muskogee offense is starting to be kind of deliberate. We might have had a flag on the play. We did. Yeah. Somebody started just a little bit early.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
Looks like they were going to him, too. That's why he was trying to hurry up and get downfield. Because I noticed the defensive back Blake Bilby is playing a shade, which means he's not letting him come inside, making him throw it to the sideline. Now, the only problem with that is if he outruns you, he outruns you, and there's nobody back there.
But it's nice that you use that boundary as an extra defender. But you said it well. There's plenty of speed out here on both ends or both edges for the Roughers. Rather than pass it, they'll come with a little inside handoff, and it did not fool the Jenks defense. They got too much penetration by the big boys up front.
Boy, time's running. Now we're down to almost a minute left in the first half. Look for them to air it out here, as it's taking way too much time but maybe no sense of urgency, maybe not worrying about it up 6-0. Their defense has played really good. And I expect you to start seeing Mr. Jones getting the ball somehow in space.
Lonnie Beach, number 44, made a nice play for the Trojans on that last defensive stand, along with Jack Wiltshire. Roughers will split 3 to the far side, and they'll have Jones out here on the island all by himself.
And he's going to him. But it's underthrown. He knocks the air out of him, landing straight on his back.
Muskogee Roughers, after the incomplete pass, they'll look over a 3rd down and 18 with the ball on the 49-yard line. We're 42 seconds away from half, and don't forget the halftime presentation will be brought to you by, as all of the ball games this afternoon, brought to you by Permabuilt. For all your foundation needs, contact Permabuilt at 835-1125. Free quotes from Permabuilt, your foundation specialist. 3rd down for the Roughers. Quarterback dropped straight back. Screen was set up well, but it's just a little bit too tall. Number 3 is giving the business to the quarterback. That's Brown saying, hey, I was so wide open, just drop it off to me. Now it's 4th down.
And 40 seconds remaining, so not quite what they wanted, back-to-back incomplete passes, because now you're giving Jenks a chance. They have so many athletes out there for the Trojans with a chance. Maybe if you don't get it here, they get the ball all of a sudden in your side of the field with 40 seconds and 1 timeout left.
And they saved their timeouts because of the incomplete passes. If they just run one running play on either of those, that would have forced the Trojans to use their final timeout.
Expect to bring some pressure right here. Oh, nice play. I like that, Don. I like the idea of punting it, flip the field position, not getting it at the 49, 48-yard line, and it goes down to the 19, and you took 11 seconds off the clock. That was a great call right there by the Muskogee Roughers coaching staff.
Absolutely. They set up in their normal formation, so all of us up here, myself included, I thought, well, okay, they're going to roll the dice and try to go for it on 4th down and about 18, and nope. They do a little quick pooch kick, and it results in the ball rolling inside the 20-yard line. So the Jenks Trojans, with less than a half a minute left, are 80 yards away, and the clock begins to tick. So the Trojans will have to come in a hurry because we're inside of 20 seconds now.
Nice play. And I'm not worried about a timeout if I'm the Trojans, and they're going to do it anyway, but I just don't like the opportunity. When you're this deep, let's go to halftime. You get the ball because you kicked off and got the onside kick. I just don't like the idea of having a chance to, have a turnover, because we saw what happened in the last game with the pick 6.
Brown got there in a hurry to make the sack. Timeout by the Jenks Trojans.
This will be a time to thank some of our sponsors, which would be Permajack. If you're having a foundation problem, whether it be a new house or an older house, get a hold of them. They can help you with any kind of foundation needs. Contact 918-835-1125. We'd like to let you thank them a lot. Them and Ron's Hamburgers, located at 91st and Elm in Broken Arrow. Simply the best hamburger in Broken Arrow. Not bad chili either.
Yeah, I'm talking about chili. When they say Monday night's low is going to be about 18 degrees, you can bet that on Wednesday, I bet Terry's busy.
Well, I bet on Monday, I don't think anybody will be sleeping with me because I'll be having chili all day on Monday.
So with 14 seconds left, the Trojans, they want to try to screen one more time. And hello! Somebody just said good evening.
Well, he got stuck good. I'm letting the clock run out, and that'll bring us to the halftime. Once again, with the score Muskogee 6, Trojan 0, me and Don are going to send it to the PA guy as we have the cheerleaders performing at halftime. That'll be it. We'll be back to start of the third quarter.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer.
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
Coach, what Jenks has in size and speed, you guys easily match, and you are putting on a clinic for these guys. What was your plan coming into this game?
Just go out and play Muskogee football, his squad football. You know, we knew they were going to be a great team, and we know it's going to be a battle. So, the battle of number one. So it's you got to go out there and prove it on the field.
Leaving it all on the field, that's what you're going to do. What are we going to do? What are we going to see watching you guys put some more points up there?
We just got to come out and play our game. We know they get the ball second half. Defensive-wise, we're playing good, but we got to keep on playing better. Get out, come out, get a stop, and hopefully we can get out there offensively and punch it back in there.
What are the guys going to hear in the locker room right now?
We know they're not going to stop, so we can't stop. Those guys aren't going to give up. They haven't been beat all year, so we got to keep playing, and finish the game.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Good to know. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer.
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
Okay, welcome everybody back. Onside kick. Looks like it goes out of bounds. I don't think it touched anybody. And it'll be out of bounds where they marked it at probably the 42, 43-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for the Trojans in great field position as they need to go down and score. As it's only 6-0. As bad as they'll probably tell you they played in the first half this whole year, they are still only down 6-0, and they get the ball after the 5-yard penalty for it going out of bounds. They get 1st and 10 at the 48. They're in great field position to go down and take a chance to score.
So as you talked about, they've got two outstanding tailbacks. They tried to highlight one a little bit through that first half. The Muskogee Ruffers defense was up to the challenge. We'll see what adjustments both coaches made at halftime. See how the second half plays out. Franklin will run the offense. Number 5 gets the first carry. That's Boston Carrasco. Flag comes in, and we've got a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Number 8 with a nice play, Timothy Moore.
He's been all over the place on the defensive line for the Ruffers. He's played a great game. Holding against the Ruffers.
Against the Trojans.
Against the Trojans. Holding.
Which is exactly what the Jenks Trojan coaching staff was not looking for as a way to start the second half. We talk about being behind the chains. Now we're going to look at a 1st down and 20.
And it might be more than that because – nope, you're right. Because I thought it might have been behind the line of scrimmage. But, no, it's 1st down and 20 for the Trojans. Not where you want to be, starting behind the chains as we talked about earlier.
Anderson will bring him to the line of scrimmage. He'll anchor the offensive line for the Jenks offense.
Oh, he got loose. There goes the big horse. And I'm telling you, as we talked about, the big horse loose down the sideline. That's Mathis. Touchdown, Trojans. I'm looking for any flags on the play. There is none. And quickly, it's all tied up at 6 as we talked about. Those two tailbacks that they have are incredible. 1-2 combination. And you saw right there the amazing speed right there by number 3. That would be Alex Mathis.
Well, you couldn't have said it any better. You talked about the fact that you come out of halftime and you probably played one of the worst halves you played all season. On the replay, just watch if they do it or show it again. Watch the block thrown by Boston Carrasco on the far side. That's what freed Mathis to get into the end zone. And the kick is up.
And it's no good.
It's no good. Makes your score 6-6.
Probably hear the PA or the on-field music as we're 7:36, and just like that, in less than a little over half a minute, the Jenks Trojans said we'll erase however we played in the first half and we'll tie this thing up. Of course, you wonder now if the Jenks coaching staff doesn't have a little bit of second thoughts about trying to kick the point after and went the traditional style and let Mathis pound it in there for a 1-point lead. Of course, you're thinking ahead. You know, Muskogee proved they weren't able to kick it. If you kick that and make it, then you have that extra point cushion all throughout the rest of the game. Yeah, we started out the morning with all the windows propped open to try to do all we could to beat the heat, and now we're trying to shut every window we can because it's cooling off up here in the booth. But thank goodness the sun has finally gone down, and believe it or not, I've got a color monitor and everything. There's no shadows on it. There's no glare, and we can now do the football game without even having to look out the window. We'll do it like they do on TV and just watch it out of the monitor. Frazier kicks it off. He goes onside. The ball's up, and it's alive. Now, did the Trojans get on it before it went out of bounds?
Out of bounds, but what a great athletic ability trying to hit them and trying to blow the ball up, and they didn't do it and went out of bounds. Looks like at the 49-yard line. But I noticed, is that a flag at the 47?
Well, it's the second time that we've thrown a flag on a kick that was touched and then went out of bounds. And that's one of the things I'm going to have to get with Kevin on. Kevin Makoff, who did the first 3 ball games for it. We're good enough friends I can call in and ask him and see what's the actual call on it. I thought if you touched the ball, if it went out of bounds, there's no harm, no foul. But he may be picking the flag up, too, because now all the officials are going to have a little conference. Except the one on the far side, he said, hey, you guys chat about this. I'm not walking all that way.
No, Jamie Francis said no. I'm not going out there.
Pan down the sidelines to get us a chance to look at a few of the sponsors for Lincoln Christian. They've got Lenny's Sub Shop. It looks like HamptonCreativity.com and Robertson Tires. Thanks to Robertson Tire and Floral Haven for stepping up and helping Lincoln Christian with their athletic adventures throughout the season. Also by Chick-fil-A. Well, now they brought the ball all the way out to just past midfield, and the Ruffers will be back on offense for the first time in the second half.
Trips left, single receiver to the right.
Stop and go to Jones.
But it's incomplete as he's out of bounds.
Jones made one heck of a catch, but was not able to keep either foot off the white line, so well, we've definitely found out that Mr. Ficklin has a nice arm on him. He'll come over to the sidelines one more time. He'll get the play from the Rutgers coaching staff. Clock stops, as it always does on an incomplete pass, and as fast as the first quarter and the second quarter blew by, the third quarter's kind of going by a little slow. We've played less than a minute. Well, much like the Trojans, number 3 got to the sidelines, and he'll pick up the first down for the Muskogee Ruppers.
Nice job by Kendall Johnson. If you see the replay of that big offensive lineman downfield doing a great job. If you watch here at the left tackle, he blows up Little, puts him on his backside, asks for syrup and butter with that pancake, and then goes on down and finds some more because that lineman's hungry, and he helps him ride him all the way down close to the 30-yard line. What a great job looking at athletes on the offensive line getting downfield.
That was number 55, Kendall Johnson. That's one of those, when the coach looks at the tape, that's one that they'll talk about. And Johnson comes to the line of scrimmage. He points out who he's got, tells his battery mate who he has, and they'll work out of the gun.
Twins left, single gun, single back in the backfield, looking to throw another deep one. And pass is overthrown. Intended for number 5, Micah Conrad. So now we've went into dead slow speed as it's taken already 5 to 6 minutes to play 48 seconds because we've passed the ball 4 times and completed none.
What we talked about at coming out of the break, so many times the 7th grade games are a little bit more athletic, so they throw the ball a little bit more often. And each time the ball goes incomplete, of course, the clock stops. That's Puckett. Michael Puckett will split to this side, and they'll put Jones to the far side. Now the quarterback will pull it down. He'll come with a little quarterback draw.
Great job by Little again at that outside defensive end. Comes in and crashes hard on the quarterback keeper. And number 16 does a great job, as we talked about the whole first half, and has done a great job here in the second half. But Muskogee has flipped the field position for sure, as they're now at the 29-yard line of the Trojans, all tied up at 6, and we're finally closing in on 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Connor Moore also anchors the offensive line for the Ruppers. He's joined out there by number 8. And we've talked about him an awful lot on defense, Timothy Moore, but he also anchors the defensive or the offensive line as well. The down lineman for the Jenks Trojans, number 61, Jesse Jones, and number 44, Lonnie Beach. Very, very small splits for the Rupper offensive lineman.
Pass incomplete as he overthrows the intended target. Latavion Johnson intercepted nicely by number 2, Jackson Franklin, for the Trojans, and they dodge a bullet. But once again, as we talked about, the only problem that you have when you pass the ball constantly is you have 2 negatives to 1 positive. You can complete it, yes, but you can have an incomplete pass, or the worst, an interception.
Jackson Franklin showed an athletic move. He didn't take any chances that the ground would be able to knock that ball loose as he made the dive and interception. He went ahead and completed a little somersault, so he landed on his back, which secured the ball. turns the ball back over to his offensive mates, and we're looking at a 6-6 tie midway through the third quarter. And Mathis will set up his tailback one more time.
Trips right, single receiver to the left.
Actually, Mathis is not at the tailback.
No,
at
they
this
got.
time.
I'm looking at that slot guy, and I'm running an inside seam route, and he's wide open if he can get it to him. I like that matchup. I don't care if it's on Jones, if Caden Jones is the one in coverage. I like the height advantage. I like the speed that he does. I like what he brings to the table at that slot spot. And I might look to come back to that because there's no safety in the middle of the field when they run the 4 wide. Let's see if they go back to that. Now we got Twins right. Yep, there he is again.
That was Blake Bilby that pulled the pass in, number 13.
And now they're up tight. Nice tough run out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. What'll bring up 3rd down and 2. We'll call it 3rd down and 1.
Anthony White with a big hit for the Rupper defense. And as Richard talked about, it's 3rd down, but it's 3rd down and short. Two backs in the backfield. The deep back will get it. He'll shake the first tackle and works it in the middle of the field. First down, Trojans. Carrasco. That's a good hard run right there. We'll watch it on the replay because he's actually going to be hit. First contact is behind the line of scrimmage. He'll shake that one. Now one more. Now he's into the secondary, and he'll push the pile. Give him about 14 on the play, and it's a big first down for the Trojan offense. Tied up at 6. We're third quarter action of the final game of the day. 7th grade. Jenks Trojans taking on the Muskogee Ruppers. Fake the toss sweep. Coming a little inside handoff back to Carrasco. Found something that worked. They're coming back into the middle, which means that we're getting outstanding effort by the big boys up front for the Jenks Trojans. Number 61 with a little kick-out block, which means that Carrasco can run to the opposite side. And number 59 trails the play. Stone Farrell, he'll get a block as well on it.
Now we got Twins left. Look at the split between the left guard and the left tackle. And that's where they run. Because you move that guy out of spot because they line up by, I'm supposed to be outside this tackle. And if that tackle splits out to a 3 yards or, 3 feet in between your stance, that just widens it out. And what's that do? Open up the hole even more. Great job by the Jenks Trojans and their offensive coaches as they widen their splits a little bit. And great job by number 61. That would be Jesse Jones as he stays with his man and drives him and smashes down that inside of the Muskogee defense. And there he is again, pushing him down.
One more time.
Ran right to the same play. And
I'd come back to it because what's happening, like you said, is now we have a flag that they're setting up.
They're going to have a block in the back here. Oh. Good call by the referee or the side judge, Jamie Francis, as we had a block in the back. And that kind of negates as they've been doing it. But I'm going to go right back to that same play again, as you said, because Nevin find a way to stop it. But you notice Jenks is running the ball, so that time's moving as we're moving down on 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Nobody's over the slot receiver out there.
Back to Carrasco. Played a little different or a little better that time from the Muskogee defense. Number 2 and number 3 on the tackle.
Yeah, that'd be Webb and Brown. Finish it off.
And number 8. On the replay, we saw that Timothy Moore also got in on the last tackle. They're down 6. Single back in the backfield for the Trojans. They haven't aired it out much. They'll fake the little bubble screen, and I think the quarterback wanted to come with the quarterback keeper, but number 23 said, I'll meet you at the quarterback.
Now number 23 would be Dadrian Hollis. Great play as the penalty really hurt them as it pushes them back. Didn't put them behind the chains, but after picking up a first down, it called back, and now it's 4th down and 10, and they're back on their side of the ball at the 46. And if you don't get something here, you turn the ball over and give Muskogee a shot again. And I'm interested to see if Muskogee keeps going to the passing game. Now, look at the matchup. I'm liking Mathis in the middle. If they give him time, this is where I'd like to go into the gun here and give him that extra step, because Muskogee has been doing a great job of putting pressure.
You say something about pressure on the quarterback?
And I just think that it was there. If they can block it up, it's there. But you put your quarterback under center and make him go back. By the time he gets back to plant, he's getting met by Muskogee defensive ends off the edge, as Jenks has not blocked the edge very well tonight at all. And that's, once again, I'm very surprised with that, because usually they're, like I said, Jenks White's done such a great job on the offensive line. But we're down to 1:35 remaining in the third quarter. 1st down and 10 for the Roughers at the Trojan 41-yard line.
You know, we give this last sack to Corian Brown, and he might actually be even faster than the quarterback. So you talk about no time to set up. When you got a defensive end that can outrun your quarterback, that spells disaster if you don't put a hand on him.
Out there to the athlete in the space. Nice defensive play as they swarm Jones. Pass complete out there in the flat.
Well, the young man that we've been calling his name constantly on defense for the Trojans, that's number 16. One more time, Sean Little shows that not only can he play the run at the line of scrimmage, he can go over and play the receiver out in the flat. But Jones made a nice catch, and he worked it forward for about 4, 2nd down 6.
Second down and 7, 2nd down and 6.
Everybody's
Offsides.
moving
Now you
up
picked
front.
up a quick 5.
Now they're going to call it offense or defense, because number 8 moved as well. So they're also going to call it legal procedure, false start on the offense. So it'll cost them the yardage that Jones came up with on the reception and back them up one more. So now I believe it's going to be 2nd down and 11. We'll call it 12. Middle mistakes. We
You
talked
can call it
about
whatever you want to. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Well, I'm probably not calling you to eat with me at all this week, but keep
You don't want to
dreaming.
have chili?
No, thank you. Not if you're making it.
Oh.
But again, what we talked about so often in the earlier games, stay away from
getting behind the chains.
Absolutely, and stay away from mental mistakes. Pre-snap penalties kill drives because they're not effort penalties; they're mental mistakes. Bicklin checks the play, and he wants to throw, and he will. He'll throw it out into the flat. That's caught by Mr. Johnson, and Johnson works into the middle of the field, and just like that, pitch and catch, and they're down close to a 1st down.
Nice job as he just gets upfield and gets upfield. Look at him. No hesitation, not trying to dance, just go.
And then lower your head and get everything you can get, and he does that well.
And that'll bring us, looks like, to the end of the third quarter. So we got 8 minutes left to decide the 7th grade INFC championship. It'll be 1st and 10 as we come back to start the fourth quarter at the Trojan 26-yard line.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball, Vikings basketball,
Woodlawn soccer,
The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
And the Muskogee Ruppers have the ball deep inside the Jenks Trojan territory, down to about the 25-yard line. They'll put a man in motion through the formation, and then they'll do the little running play right in behind him. But big number 61 for the Trojans fought the block up, and he'll make the tackle. That's Jesse Jones with a nice play.
What has he done? Elise has turned into quite the acrobat. She's did 2 backflips up on the front, and now she's diving off. I think the cheerleaders are going to catch her, and I think she's going to surf the cheerleaders. Uh-oh, one of the OU guy up here in the box just ran down to help her.
The Ruffers will set one more time in the gun. We'll put 3 receivers to this side and a single receiver to the backside. And before the snap one more time, we got a false start on one of the Ruffer receivers on this side of the field to try to get just a little bit of jump on the snap count.
And you can't do that, Don.
Apparently they'll call 5 yards on you.
Hey, yo, I couldn't hear you on that last. You're still running there. Nice.
Don, I don't think you can do that. This ain't the CFL where you can get a head start.
No, it's the INFC.
Oh, sorry.
CFL.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 14 now at the 30-yard line for the Ruffers.
Hey, can you stay with me for 6 minutes and 58 seconds?
I'm already tired.
Thank you. And you're how old?
I'm young.
Yes, compared to me, you are. So let's go.
Tied up at 6:40 and counting. Trips left, single receiver to the right. And that's a great throw, but you got to give your receiver a chance to catch it, and it lands 5 yards out of bounds. I mean, that's the only thing they'll learn when he gets older is he's got to give his kid a chance to catch it. Now, and what I'm looking at is I'm looking for something in the middle of the field. I'm looking for Jones to run like he just did, but run in like he's running an in, and then head straight for the goalpost and let him lead him out there and find a way to keep that safety up tight on the other side.
3rd down and 14. Ball is all the way back now. They had it inside the down to about the 21-yard line now. It's back out to
the 30.
The 30 after the penalty.
3rd down and 14. Trips left, singles to the right. Shotgun formation back to the left. And he cans a quick handoff. And great play by number 14, and that would be, I'm going to go with Henderson. Brody Henderson. His dad played at Oklahoma State. I think he played baseball. Scott Henderson, but great play by Brody in there, because if he don't make the play, good chance he can get at least to the 1st down. So now we got a 4th down. Looks like we'll call it 10. I can call it whatever I want to. But 4th down and 10 now for the Ruffers, and we're under 6 minutes remaining. Could we have our first OT game?
No, we cannot.
Okay, good.
So now do we go to the pass or do we stay with the run?
I'm going pass, and I'm going to get it out here quick, and hopefully we get a block, and hopefully he can get it, but he does not, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Great job by the Trojan defense, and now can they put a drive together and close out the ball game with 5:44 remaining?
Jace Hager got up off the play, immediately started clapping. He knew that there wasn't quite enough yardage for the 1st down. He came up about 2 yards shy. Extra effort, though, from Johnson.
Yeah, he knew he had to get there. Latavion did, and couldn't quite get there. So tied up at 6.
So what do you think? We're going to put Mathis back in the backfield?
Well, right now the clock guy just now, I think he tore a rotator cuff trying to get the PA guy to start the clock. But, hey, 5:35 remaining and counting. 1st down and 10 at their own 22-yard line. You don't want to turn the ball over here. Twins right, twins left. Back goes in motion. And a quarterback draw. But great job by number 29, and I bet you that's Mr. Parrish. Stays at home. And they did a job right there of getting some kids some plays that look like they go 4 wide so they can run it in, run it inside. You didn't think they were going to pass it. But just trying to steal some plays to try to get everybody their 7 plays in.
Now
Twins left.
Then they'll line up with Carrasco as the tailback.
All right, hey, in just a second.
Picks up enough for a 1st down as he gets out to the 33-yard line. Be 1st and 10.
Brought down by Kendall Johnson.
That'll move the chains, and the clock will get running again.
Jesse Jones one more time with a nice block up front for the Trojans, and Jones is doing some work up there. We highlighted him earlier for his pancake effort, and that time we'll give him credit for just a push block.
Let me know when you get another. All right, she's taking a cheerleader.
Boston will bounce it to the outside. Now that's a nice cut, and he'll get down
to the 42-yard line and bring up 2nd down and 1. We'll take it down to Elise down on the sideline.
All right, you're live.
All right, I've got cheer captain Makayla of Muskogee right now. Okay, you are a captain. That's a big responsibility. What are some of those responsibilities?
I get to show the girls the right way to do things in cheer and at school with grades and everything. So, yeah, it's really good.
So kind of like an early role model, huh?
Yeah.
So you guys have been with this team all season. Have you been having a lot of fun being on the sidelines?
Yes, we have. It's really fun.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor.
A doctor? Do you know what kind?
An anesthesiologist.
That's what my mom is. It's pretty cool. You know what? You're very, very smart. Keep cheering, keep dancing, keep having fun. We're going to see big things from you. Thanks for joining me. Guys?
First down for the Trojans. As Elise found out, we've got a future anesthesiologist in the house, and the Trojans.
Nice play in the backfield. Looks like Jones wraps him up on the loss as he gets him stopped before he could get started, because it looked like if he doesn't, it's blocked pretty well as it comes in there.
Jones got there in a hurry for the first time. The Ruppers elect to blitz on the play, and it paid dividends for him as Jenks is now backed up 2nd down and 14.
And we're down to 2.5 minutes.
And you had to ask it a little while ago, so thanks a lot. Now it does look like we're probably going to have our first overtime game. Unless
he can get up and after getting tackled and run it in, which you can't. So now
Mathis.
we're down to 2 minutes, Brenny. And it's 3rd down and 11, and we're closing in under 2 minutes. All tied up at 6.
Which, and if we get there, we'll have to explain the overtime rules. It's a little different than it is, obviously, in college and high school.
Yep, you'll have to explain it as I'll be leaving.
That would be a negative as the door is now locked to the press box. For the snap.
Timeout, Jenks.
So there was not a penalty on the play, and we'll go to a break.
Unfortunately, we've gotten some bad news.
To whom it may concern, due to budget shortfalls, the Panthers baseball program,
Ballard softball. Vikings basketball.
Woodlawn soccer. The Tigers basketball program
is indefinitely suspended.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
Every kid deserves a chance to play.
Back to Lincoln Christian with 1:44 left in regulation. The Trojans come out of their timeout. It's 2nd down, or actually check that. That's 3rd down and 11.
Looks like we're probably going to go to overtime. Set up.
So now it's the Trojans that'll occupy the trips left to the far side. Now Muskogee says, not before we call timeout.
And that'll bring up 3rd down and 11. That'll take us a great time to talk about us, because I want to talk about me and you, Don. I'm tired of talking about everybody else. How about me and you? Don, how long you been doing this?
As I said, we'll thank our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods. And, well, why don't we recap what we've seen so far today? We'll start with the 6th grade game. The Bixby Spartans came away with a 27-6 win over TYAA. 5th grade, Jenks Black 8, Glenpool 6. In the 4th grade game, the Bartlesville Bruins came down Highway 75 and they beat Stillwater 14-6, and the Glenpool Warriors in the third grade game came away with an 18-0 score and brought home the first gold ball ever won by a Glenpool team.
That's exactly right. And let's talk about Don.
And thanks to Permabuilt for helping us with the INFC championship as well, because Don's not saying much about himself other than it's third down.
Can he get to the edge? No.
Mathis really didn't try to bounce that one to the outside like he did earlier in the ballgame, but number 10 was there.
Anthony White did a great job for the Ruffers, closing in on 1.5 minutes left. Fourth down. Do you really try to go for it here?
You're going for it, and you got to try to get Mathis in space. They've shown they really don't throw the ball effectively. I don't know if they did when you watched them at Bixby the other night in the playoffs, but you got to toss sweep to Mathis.
Was about their only offense they've had.
Except for the fact he's not in the backfield. They'll go with Carrasco back there.
They're going to double cover him, too.
Does he get a foot down?
Oh, no, that's a catch.
Officials say on that side that it's no catch.
All right, sorry. Say that one more time.
So that turns the ball over to the Muskogee Ruppers, and they're inside Jenks territory.
And 2 got hit hard as he released the ball. Number 8, again, Moore.
With 55 seconds left. Hart, the third, brings the play in for the Muskogee Ruppers. A little confusion, it looks like, as far as what play Muskogee wants to run, but now they finally got it set up. They got split receivers to both sides. Quarterback looks deep, and he lets it go. They're going to Jones, and again, as Richard talked about earlier, Jones had a shot to catch the ball, but unfortunately he's 4 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to throw the ball inbounds to have a chance. It doesn't do you any good to keep throwing it out of bounds, and that's about his third one that he has launched 3 to 4 yards. If he throws it inbounds, maybe you have a chance to let your athlete go make a play. He never has a chance to make the play when it's thrown 4 or 5 yards out of the end zone or out of the sidelines.
Well, and really the Muskogee offense, I don't know that they've thrown a single pass into the middle of the field one time.
Yeah, and if he could have held on, remember that was the holding call. He was wide open, was number 2, Webb.
We got timeout on the field. There's a chance to watch the play one more time as Corian Brown will catch it in the flat. Watch how many tackles he'll elude. There's 1. There's 2. And now the host of Jenks Trojans get there, and they're ripping at the ball. That's number 3.
He ripped it out, but I think the whistle already blew.
Jenks Trojan defenders weren't quite sure that they agreed with that, but believe it or not, we could actually hear the whistle up here. It was a great call by Jamie Francis on this side of the field. Third down with 39 seconds left, and the Muskogee Ruppers would take a timeout. And if we do indeed go to an overtime, before we go to overtime, because we'll have to do a reflip and everything, we'll have to go down to the field. We'll have Elise with another interview. Maybe she can get one of the coaches to get their perspective on what overtime means to them.
Third down and 7.
Brown.
Third and 6, excuse me.
And Brown will join Ficklin in the backfield. Watch one of those little flare passes. Sean Little has a design set on sacking the quarterback.
There's the middle of the field.
The intended receiver was Jones. 4th down and 6 as we watch the incomplete pass one more time. It's blocked well by the guys up front. It's just a little bit too tall.
Bring up 4th down. 35 seconds remaining in the contest.
All righty, with 35 seconds left, the Muskogee Ruppers line up to go for it on 4th down and 6, and why would they not? Quarterback on the draw. He'll bounce it to the outside. 1st down and more up the sidelines. And he was able to get out of bounds with 28 seconds left, so Muskogee keeps their hopes in the drive alive. We'll get a chance to watch it one more time. I don't think he ever had any intentions whatsoever of throwing it. 2 steps back, pull it down, get it to the outside, now step out of bounds. It's Muskogee Ruppers coaches give him a well-deserved round of applause. 1st down, Ruppers.
Bring up 1st down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Trips left, single receiver to the right.
Dylan Wood will split to the far side, and Jones is on our side, and you can look for him to go over the middle again.
Not sure I like the play call when you only have one timeout. Now you got to burn it.
It's one of those, if you bust it, everyone thinks you're a genius, but he didn't. And so now the clock just continues to run, and I don't know if they're out of timeouts.
No, they've got one
the
left.
Scoreboard says they've got one.
Yeah, they're not going to get a snap off. They won't even. This will be the last play of the game right here. They wasted 17 seconds. Once again, as I talked about clock management earlier in the day, teams just do not understand it. As if you're going to call a timeout, call it at 21 seconds.
Absolutely, because then you get 2 plays.
Maybe 3 throwing the ball.
If you get out of bounds, incomplete pass, but now you've got 1 shot. You got to go into the end zone.
And they're going to put at least 3 guys back, maybe 4.
Well, and you feel pretty sure
they're going to number 20.
Who they're going to want to go to. He's the one that caught the pass in this corner of the end zone that they're going into right now in the first quarter that put Muskogee up early, 6-0.
And they really haven't sniffed it since then.
Well, and the Trojans also, I mean, other than that one big run, they really haven't mounted much offense themselves either. I mean, you've got to tip your hat to both defensive teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They each planned really well, knowing what they were going to go against.
So we take our hats off to both defensive coordinators as they had it scoped out well.
They move Jones into the slot.
I still bet he ends up in the corner of the end zone.
Middle. Oh, we got a flag. Pass was in. We got a flag, though, and I bet it's against Muskogee, and I bet we're going to overtime. Don, why'd you jinx us?
Yeah, as I recall, I was the one that
said no.
Asked about have you ever had overtime, and I didn't want to say I had because I actually have, and now, thanks to you, we have it again.
Let's talk about you, Don. Don Rice, been doing this 28 years, Don. That is an incredible long amount of time. When I first met you, you used to have a lot of hair.
Thanks. I knew we were going there.
And now, because of your wonderful children, you don't have. Look at Don up here, guys.
And,
look at him. What a good-looking guy he is. I'm telling you, we might need to turn the light off because that dome chrome is getting a little bright up here.
Did you mention something about I had a whole head of hair before I met you?
No, well, your son.
Yes.
But, hey, it's been a pleasure working with you, Don. 5 years now I've been with you, and I know you've been doing it a long time, and you're one of the reasons why I got into it about 11 years ago, as I've been doing Bixby for 11 years in their youth program, and I've got involved with their high school program for their sports app and their live streaming down there. So it's always nice seeing a familiar face up here in the box with me. 2 great-looking guys. I might have to add that myself. 2 incredible GQs missing out on us. And now we're going to go down live?
Yeah, we're going to go to Elise.
Now we're going down to Elise. She's somewhere on the sideline with that crazy lady.
All right, I'm bringing Christy back because she's everyone's favorite hype woman. But your son, Corey, he's being the star of the show tonight. We're going into overtime. If you could say anything to him right now, what would it be?
Let's eat.
She said, let's eat. Now, let's get the crowd and all of our viewers at home ready to go for overtime.
All right. Let's go.
Get them ready.
Let's go, Raptors!
You're the freaking best. Isn't she great, guys? Back to you in the box.
Okay, well, it's high school federation rules. So you'll get 4 downs from the 10-yard line. I don't feel like my mic is hot. Not as hot as I'm feeling right now sitting in this chair next to Don, but I think you muted me. You good? Okay, here we are. Listen to what we got, Don. I just had it told to me by the guy in charge of football operations. He told me it's in the playoffs, and it does say in the rule book they go to high school national federation rule, which means they start at the 10-yard line. You get 4 downs. You can kick the extra point if you choose to, and the whoever's, I guess they chose, Jenks will be on offense first. They'll have 4 downs, and then Muskogee will get the same opportunity.
Looking at some of the highlights of the regulation, and this is Jones's touchdown as he hauls it in, gets 1 foot in.
Well, they'll take it over to the right hash. They're looking for one-on-one out here to Mathis, and I'm looking for a fade if he can get it up there or something to get him one-on-one out here. And I'm trying this already, but you know what you're doing is you're opening up wide open as he goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. 1 play, 10 yards. And now we're going to see what they can do with the extra point. Now we can see what they can do with the extra point, because if they can kick it and make it, it puts a lot of pressure.
Well, you brought up a great point. We split Mathis out to the side. So what did that do? That made the defense honor him, and we just come right up in the middle.
Well, we'll see about the extra point as they will now. Here comes the kicker who could get the girls at school or get lunch duty.
Only you could come up with something like that. Cooper Frazier will actually try the point after.
Oh, we got an offsides. Now what do? Do you take the distance? Now do you go for the 1 point or do you kick it again?
Well, I think you still got to kick it, because if you go for the 1 and then the Ruppers score and they can kick 1, then you're gonna go home by losing by 1 point because you didn't have enough confidence in your kicker.
Well, Cooper Frazier's going to see if he can prove me wrong. Snap's good. Good blocking, and the kick is on the way, and it's good! And, boy, they put 2 on the board real quick, and now it's 14-6. Puts the pressure on the Ruffers as they're going to now have to not only score but make the 2-point conversion. I had the faith in him the whole time. Don, I can't believe you were against Cooper.
Could you do me a favor? The next time you turn into a soccer announcer and scream good or goal or whatever that was you were saying, just let me take my headset off, because between you and the Muskogee Rupper lady that hollered go a little while ago, I didn't have a chance to turn that right hearing aid down, and so now I've got a buzzing in my ear. So now we go back to the 10. We put Muskogee on offense. They'll go the same way that the Jenks Trojans did.
Don, let's talk about you.
Turnover or no points here on 3 downs, and the Jenks Trojans will take the goal ball to the house.
Trips left. I'm throwing the ball real quick. They don't have enough defenders out here to guard it, and I'm throwing it out there, get 2 blocks, and number 11 scores. Right here he is. Throw it to number 11. He scores. Oh, going the wrong way, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Great job getting 2 yards out of nothing. That's great effort because I think if he catches it and goes straight to the sideline like they're taught in the high school level, I think he might take it to the house because they only had 2 guys out there and the safety was in the end zone.
Well, then in the way he started to run it, I think he gave up on himself a little too quick. We're going to watch the replay right here, and I didn't see the first part of it, but I think he actually gave up on going back across the field. But if you saw in the replay, that ball almost came loose.
It did. 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line now for the Roughers. Trips right. Now Jones is by himself. Do you throw it quick? No, they're going to hand the ball off and try to get to the edge.
And they do.
And does it get in the end zone? Touchdown, Roughers. Nice job by number 3 as he finds the pylon. Carry on Brown. Now.
Pressure.
The 2-point kick.
And the pressure's on the Rougher kicker because the Jenks kicker's already made his.
I'm calling timeout. And I'm getting them over on the sideline, make sure I get my blocking up right. I'm calling timeout.
And then if the Roughers call timeout, coming out of that timeout, if I'm Jenks, I'll use my timeout and let him think about it a little bit. But it shows.
And then I'm going to match your timeout with a timeout again. No, there ain't that many timeouts. My bad.
Now, Jones has noticed we don't have a blocker over here on the side. He's trying to get the coach's attention. Now, when did the play clock start? I mean, are they in jeopardy of having too much time here?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Well, we got false start. No, they got 12 guys on the field. You're exactly right, Don. If I'm counting them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys. What a penalty to have as they send the kid out there late and they didn't need him.
Now, what did you talk about?
I said call a timeout and make sure you're set up right.
Absolutely. This is the most important play of your 7th grade season. So now we'll have to find out if Picklen can basically kick a short field goal now because they've backed the ball up to the 7-yard line. And Jenks, I think, now will take a timeout.
No timeout, Muskogee.
Well, might be a play late for that, Coach. And one more time, Jones is upset about something. Jones doesn't think we have enough guys now. I think what the problem is they were putting 2 guys on the wing on our side of the field and no blocker on the wing on the other. And Jones was looking out there and saying, hey, we didn't have a wing to block the end, but they had 2 on one side. So they had plenty of guys. They just weren't lined up right. This is the touchdown. As he's heading straight, as Richard talked about earlier, get to the pylon, and he says, I'm going to. But now 16 actually kind of helps him here because he's going to drive him into the end zone.
Great effort. So here we are for the extra point. It'll be number 1, Jamarian Picklen will be the kicker. The holder will be number 20, Caden Jones. And the extra point's no good, and that is the ball game. And that's the way it's going to end, with the extra point being no good.
So the Jenks Trojans will win the 7th grade go ball.
Kids just threw their helmets over there for Muskogee. And
that is so dangerous. Okay, we're going to actually replay the touchdown one more time, so give you a chance to watch the score and play both of them. First, we'll watch the one from Carrasco as he's going to make a somersault right at about the 1-yard line. Talk about extra effort. He got hit originally at the 5, shakes off that tackle, spins on top of the guy, and then ends up in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Great effort by
Muskogee.
What a great ball game. Way to end the night on 2019 INFC. We go to overtime 14-12. What a great ball game. Don, what a pleasure it's been working with you. We like to thank our crew up here at Game Day Live. We appreciate them up here as they've done a great job hosting us up here in the press box. Lincoln Christian, thank you for your hospitality as you guys have done a great job for your first year of running this, and what a way to end the game 14-12.
Thanks to our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods. Thanks to Permabuilt for stepping up and helping us with Ron Hamburger and Chili. So we're going to close this out, as I like to close them all out, by saying ball game over, day over, INFC Championship Saturday over, the season over. Tom? I still love you. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys. I have head coach of Jenks, Coach Holland, right here with me. What does this win mean to you?
A lot. It's been a long time. Been a long time just to get here. It's a tough league to play in, and just to make it to this game is a great feat in itself. So, extremely happy.
Describe how tonight was. It was extremely intense the whole game.
It was close. I knew it'd be. Both our teams have great defenses. I knew it'd come down to something small like a kick. So I'm happy for these boys. They put in a lot of work all year long. So.
What type of tone do you think this sets for these guys going into the future?
I think the future's bright at Jenks. We have 3 great Jenks 7th grade teams that won a lot of games. So them all coming together next year, they're going to be hard to deal with in a few years. So.
Well, their future's very bright. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the win. So, you guys going to get some more championships in the future?
Yes.
Hi. What's your name?
Brody.
Brody. Are you a champion today?
Yeah.
Are you a champion?
Yes, sir.
Adam have to shave his head. Wait, one of these Jenks shave his head now.
Yes.
Are you really going to do it?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Enjoy.